How were we able to accomplish this transformational agreement that is on the cusp of a vote this week without a strike vote or a strike for the first time in 13 years? It wasn't because of some cosmic bargaining process or skillful negotiator, but a series of critical shifts in conditions that govern collective bargaining. And while good, these outcomes won't be enough to address the myriad of crises or challenges coming our way. Some of the things that made it possible to settle this historic agreement is restoring bargaining rights for educators for the first time since '94. This allowed discussions around class size and staffing and privatization that made substantive improvements. Elect a school board, this process that you all are part of, made a big difference in terms of bringing the public voice and oversight into the process. A mayor educator, for the first time, someone who really understood what it takes to lead a classroom in a middle school. The moratorium on school closings. And while those things have helped build and rebuild advocacy and agency of educators, teachers really only have a shot to influence you all and board policy and rules once every 4 years, whereas you get to do it every day. In terms of librarians, yes, this is important. We are doubling the number of librarians by the year 2028, and that will not reach half the schools by 2028. You have no restriction on solving that gap between now and then of the 200 to 500 plus that would get to equity and give every child access. You don't need a CBA to reach that goal. You can do that independently. Building back what's been destroyed in this era of divestment and educational apartheid is not a one-day or a one-contract effort. It represents a deposit, but it's not paid in full. The CEO walked in every day before this settlement was on the table with the ability to lower class sizes. It was only the contract that's making that a reality. In your CEO search, you also have the ability to improve the district, moving away from accountants and bankers and thinking about educators who can build and grow coalitions, invest in our classrooms and pedagogically sound practices. That will be essential, not running the district as a business, but as a caring, thoughtful district that cares about our diverse school communities. Thank you for your public support, for those of you who have committed to preserve the district's equity-based staffing model and protect the classroom from any future cuts. As I was on a webinar last night with our members, about 100 of them, we were discussing the bilingual improvements in this tentative agreement. And I got a little emotional, and I want to just share that before I close. This contract expands dual language and world language programs for the first time in the district in the last few years. For Black and brown children, it provides an African language option for the first time. And I contrast that with Trump making English only an edict at the highest levels of government, trying to crush diversity, our students' identities, and make sure that they can't learn about themselves in their classrooms. Conversely, we have memorialized academic freedom in this agreement and the legal protections of our students, regardless of what happens at the federal or state level. That is a testament to our collective accomplishment. We're also making translation equipment and bilingual culturally relevant literature available to all schools and all students, in contrast to the anti-DEI threats that you received in the executive order last week. We protect and defend our undocumented children in this agreement and our teachers that are on visas, while MAGA abducts them, sends them to maximum security prisons and for expressing opinions he doesn't like. So we collectively are welcoming diversity and backgrounds and different opinions and the meeting of the minds. I want to thank you and your team for recognizing those things and also acknowledging we have a ways to go. Thank you.